All right, those of you that have not been a big fan of the graphing and the multiplicity idea that we've seen so far in chapter 5, you'll like section 3 a lot better. So section 3, 5.3, is solving polynomial equations. And when we're solving polynomial equations, factoring is going to be really our way to go. And I know some of you are not a huge fan of factoring, but hopefully we'll kind of build on those skills that we've been able to use so far. So going off of that, we've learned a lot of ways to factor between Algebra 1 and new strategies that we have learned so far this year. So out of the ways that we know to factor, one of our strategies is to factor a greatest common factor. And something like that would be 2x squared plus 6x, where 2x squared and 6x, these guys both have a 2x in common that you can factor out. And 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times 3 gives us the 6x here. All right, so that's factoring a greatest common factor. Another strategy we've seen is the idea of a perfect square trinomial. And an example of that would be x squared plus 6x plus 9, where this is a perfect square, this is a perfect square, and then your middle term is twice these two like square roots multiplied together. So this is x squared, this is 3 squared. 2 times x times 3 is 6x. So this becomes x plus 3 squared. All right, so that's a perfect square trinomial. Another strategy we've seen is a difference of squares. And a difference of squares could be something like x squared minus 16. Perfect square. Perfect square. Okay. But it's a difference. We have subtraction in the middle. So this factors to be x plus 4 times x minus 4. And then we also know how to do factoring by grouping. We are going to kind of build on factoring by grouping though, and learn a new way to factor by grouping. Okay, and that's what we will see in just a minute here. Okay, this will be, I guess, factoring by grouping will be example 2. Okay, we're going to add a couple more things to this ways to factor list tomorrow. So leave a few lines here, blank space, before we start doing example 1. Okay. So example 1A will right here. All right, but again, this video was just kind of for you to see an overview of some of those ways that we have factored so far, because we'll use a lot of those same strategies now to solve our polynomial equations.